And good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, December 13th. It's Coroner Now Live on YouTube and X. I'm Jason Mann with Jim Check, and topping our stories this morning, BC Chief Coroner hits out at NDPs' approach to the overdose crisis.
Yeah, so the BC Chief Coroner Lisa Lapointe says she's a hopeful person, but she's leaving her office frustrated and disappointed, angry even. She had been at the forefront of the province's battle against the toxic drug overdoses for years, but she said the public health emergency that was declared in 2016 never received a coordinated response based on the size of that crisis. Instead, she lamented in one-off beds and projects response to the emergency that BC Coroner's Office has claimed more than 13,000 lives. Say that again, 13,000 lives.
That's like a small
since
town.
2016, yeah. And she said, we see these ad hoc announcements, but sadly we haven't seen is a thoughtful, evidence-based, data-driven plan for how we're going to reduce the number of deaths in our province. She said that in an interview on Monday. She retires in February and said she's particularly worried about what she's feared as the creep of politics into vital public health decisions surrounding overdose policies. She's wondered whether the government even read the recent coroner service death review panel report that recommended providing controlled drugs to people without prescriptions. The proposal was immediately rejected by the government last month, moments before Lapointe had an opportunity to present the conclusions at a press conference. Yeah, you can go and read this whole story. She said it's hard, especially now that there's a lot of ideologies battling over this. It's become a very political issue. You know, a thought-out plan would make more sense for sure. Like, and again, I do see the reactions, and we see it here in Kelowna, and we see it everywhere. There needs to be help for these people for sure.
You know, the thing about this is, in my mind, is it's life by 1,000 Band-Aids, right? Like, as she said there, it's not thought out. It's haphazard. It's one-offs here and there, and as you're saying, like a strategy with the end goal in mind might be better serving our.
I know in the United States,
public.
they've sued some of the pharmaceutical companies for this drug crisis, and I think there's some stuff starting to happen in Canada in suing the pharmaceutical companies, but access to these, anyway.
You have to really question, you know, like why these policies are in place and what the thought is, because it doesn't actually seem to make sense. But
whatever we're doing is we need to do better. I would say that's the big thing, a well thought out process that is maybe all the parties need to work together on and agree on, instead of like turning it into a political football all the time.
And no doubt it's a thorny issue. It's a difficult issue to solve. But if you're talking about money being a part of the solution and the way that we're spending it on other things, like it's obviously not a priority.
13,000. Yeah, that's a big number, and that doesn't count the people that are suffering. That just haven't died yet, are close to it many times.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So.
The Ponds commercial project appears to be on schedule and ready to open in the summer of 2024.
I mean, that's going to be helpful to you. You'll have a Save On Foods further out into the Mission there.
Yeah,
for
that's
Kettle Valley residents, right?
Could be a nice amenity there.
And I know that the Save On Foods in the Mission area is pretty busy all the time, and I think this will help people because of that. Kelowna has grown way out there. Like, I mean, Crawford and many up, I don't know what they call that, up on the top there.
I think
is that the Ponds?
Yeah, that is the Ponds. Yeah,
there you go. People living in the Mission Crawford neighborhoods soon have access to that Save On Foods. At the end of November, a developer submitted a development variance permit to the city for the number and size of signs in the village center zone on Frost Road. The location of the grocery store will also include a pharmacy and a kitchen, and is at 940 1030 Frost Road. The new shopping center has been dubbed the Mission Village at the Ponds. The second phase will see another 5 buildings built to the east of the Save On Foods building. When these two projects are approved by City Council, several councillors were glad to see the vacant property finally being developed and expected the new commercial service to alleviate traffic on Gordon Drive and Lakeshore Road. There you go. So far, the only other business that's been confirmed the shopping plaza is Shoppers Drug Mart, and there's talks of a liquor store going in there as well. The goal is to have the plaza open by summer of 2024, so not that far away.
That'll come in handy. Demand at the BC SPCA food banks has increased by more than 20% since last year.
And we're seeing this demand not just at food banks for people, now the food banks for pets. The demand at BC SPCA pet food banks has seen an increase of more than 20% when compared to the same time last year. In 2022, the BC SPCA provided 532,000 meals to dogs and cats through its pet food bank, said Diana Waters, the outreach specialist at the BC SPCA. So the pet food bank served just over 648,000 meals. And they're asking for help. You can go and read the story on coronernow.com. They're looking for volunteers to assist with collection and distribution of pet food and supplies.
Well, that really puts it all into perspective.
I don't think we have the video for that story. Oh, we do? Oh, we have the video for Kent and Nick went out and did. Trucking company has a new electric truck in its fleet.
Driving around. I think I saw it on the first day it was on the street.
I shouldn't say fleet. They have
It's a 100% electric truck. It's called the Lion truck. And yeah, it's great regional delivery truck. So we operate basically between Osoyoos all the way as far north as Kamloops. And I actually just had our first delivery to Big White last week. So yeah, fantastic zero emission option for Westwood to be able to provide that service to their customers.
All right. Now, I think a lot of people have wrapped their minds.
So that entire video you can see on our YouTube channel and also at coronernow.com.
Yeah, the story's up on coronernow.com. That's the easiest way to find it. If you go under our video tab, you'll find all those videos.
Yeah. The BC Interior teacher has been suspended after a student threw a wooden knife that narrowly missed a person's head.
Seems like we do rent a building for rentals every day, and we do a teacher suspension almost every day now too. So a teacher at a school in the BC Interior has been suspended after one of his students threw a wooden knife and narrowly missed hitting someone in the head. And I guess the suspension is more due to a bunch of other safety infractions that are going on in his classrooms, and that according to a consent agreement that he signed with the BC Commission for Teacher Regulation, he also failed to maintain a safe learning environment for his students. The first of several incidents are listed in the report, which are all on Kelowna Now. Just like not proper safety in class for like woodworking classes. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. And he even told some students to go outside and wrestle, and they found them wrestling out in the snow. Anyway, you can go read that whole story. There's a lot of allegations in there, so go ahead and read that.
Well, we've had a bit of snow over the last few days, and the forecast, the conditions up at Big White looks great. Clear skies, unlimited visibility, and plenty of runs open.
There you go. That's Big White is finally open and reporting lots of snow. So that's
26
great.
Runs, I guess, and tomorrow.
26 runs, and tomorrow we do our first call with Big White, where they're going to tell us the weekend report for the mountain.
All the events and the upcoming forecast for the mountain, and any specials or deals that you might be able to expect as well. So
got some sports news for you.
Yeah. Kelowna's Gracie Graham to represent Canada at the U18 Women's World Championship.
She'll be wearing that maple leaf again in early 2024. A year after helping Team Canada to a gold medal in U18 Women's World Championship in Sweden, the Kelowna product will be aiming for a repeat with the team next month. Graham was one of the 23 players named to the roster of Hockey Canada on Tuesday for the upcoming tournament, which will take place in Switzerland, January 6 through 14. During the 2023 event, 11 months ago, Graham scored a goal and added 2 helpers from the blue line as Canada went undefeated through 5 games on a route to gold. Graham, whose older brother Max plays for the Kelowna Rockets.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Is committed to play the NCAA Div 1 hockey for the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers starting next fall.
There you go. A trio of Warriors also selected for the BCHL Top Prospects game.
The Warriors have been on a roll. They are in the midst of an impressive season, currently sitting second in the Interior Conference and third in the BCHL overall. With that in mind, it comes no surprise that a trio of Warriors have been selected to play in the BCHL Top Prospects game in Penticton next month, and that is forward Cal Hughes, Jack Pridham, and along with defenseman Landon Hilditch. And that will take place at the South Okanagan Event Center on January 19, 2024. I'm sure that's good hockey if somebody wants to go down and watch some great hockey.
Top
drawer. We got an event here.
A holiday market to look forward to, December 16th. So that'll be this Saturday.
Yeah, 10 to 4 p.m. Free entry.
Down at 440 Yates Road.
Yeah, parking on the streets. People that will be there, Urban Collective, Gorgeous George's Gourmet Ice Cream, Manifest Tea and Vintage Market, and Fabulous Baking.
Sounds very festive.
Like it's lots of Christmas stuff going on for sure, right? So there, Marcy's showing you on the screen some of the cool stuff there. So another great Christmas event to take place. And then just some finance news. The Fed's expected to maintain its interest rates this morning at the current levels for the third consecutive meeting, countering the market's anticipation of potential rate reductions. And I think
That's in the U.S., right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But what the U.S. does,
Yeah.
we kind of do as well. So they're expected to hold the line, and I think everybody's really wanting some reductions and quickly. So we also have something cool that came out of Tesla last night. Optimus, the third gen. This is really cool to watch. This is their first iteration, Bumblebee, and then Optimus, which we've seen just recently, Gen 1, and now here's Gen 3. It is...
What would you say the defining differences are?
You're going to see in a second. Just its range of motion, its tactile fingers, like you're going to see that it's able to pick up an egg. It's able to balance itself very well. I mean, it looks kind of like very humanistic too, right? Like the head is even more humanoid than ever, I think. And look at the use of the hands, like the articulation of the fingers.
He walks like me early Sunday morning.
I seen you walking like that the other day when your hip was a little thrown out. Maybe they got to work on the hips.
Exactly.
But very human looking though too, right? Like very like, and they reduced weight in this one too. They say without sacrifice performance, and you can just see it's balance.
Doing some squats there.
And if you look at the fingers, how the fingers articulate, which is very, very impressive. So the goal of Tesla is to have that robot in your home, helping you do, chores and stuff like that. And also the thing will be working in manufacturing and all kind of, but if it picks up an egg, you can see how those fingers are very tactile and it's able to place that egg without busting it, right? So
I expect Elroy to just come busting in here into the screen just any second now.
Yeah, so and they want to make sure that the robots have, Marcy missed that last piece, but there is the robot is at a party later after.
Oh.
I think just if you keep going here, I think you'll see that.
Dancing! Not even serving canapes.
Not just work for the Tesla robots. In other Tesla news, Tesla initiating a massive recall of over 2 million vehicles sold in the U.S., encompassing its entire range of models to address a flaw in the system designed to monitor driver engagement while using autopilot. Tesla's recall is a software update though, so people aren't actually having to take their vehicles in or anything. So Tesla does an update over the air, and so it's a lot cheaper to do than if you had to take your vehicle in for recalls. Most time you have to take your vehicle in for a recall. This one is just an over the air update.
Got it.
From our X-Files, we got a couple here to go through. This one, I don't know, you got to go play this yourself. This is from an MP that says the person in charge of the $1 billion green fund gave herself $10 million of it. And during the call, she just got up and walked away. Interesting response.
Wow.
So,
like, just stroke the check or what?
You know what? That's that. If we get an inquiry, that we find out that stuff. Like, hopefully, we get an inquiry in this one because, again, supposedly she's not the only one that took money. $1 billion, and we've seen that a few times now where there's little accountability as to where the money goes.
Anytime that the word slush is used in a fund,
I don't think they meant to call it that. I think that's the MP adding the word slush in there.
Okay.
I don't think it's meant to be a green. Okay. I think it's a $1 billion green fund.
Right.
I think he ad-libited and added his own word in there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, and then in another tweet out there in our our 5 things you need to know this morning, Thailand's criminal court Wednesday sentenced this 30-year-old member of parliament from the Progressive Move Forward Party 6 years in prison for criticizing the government. That's
Thailand.
Coming to a country near you. I mean, it seems if you're jailing opposition leaders or opposition members, seems odd. I mean, seems odd,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And he was criticizing the king on social media. I think some people think they are the king, even if they don't get elected king. King with the title. King is just a title, right? So there you go. Anything else you want to share this morning? Looks like a beautiful day. You got some weather to share with us for sure.
We do. Today, we are expecting a high of 2 degrees, and you
Looks
see a
great out there.
tiny little sun in the background because we will see maybe just a little bit of it. Mostly cloudy today, but nice and mild, that's for sure. And we do have some weather photos to take a look at. There you go, our nice cloudy start to the day. It's looking very green down there. And but up there, up at Predator Ridge, thought we'd take another look at one of our webcams from coronernow.com. It's looking very wintry at Predator Ridge. And the roads, you know, the worst section there at the top of the summit of the Coquihalla Connector, or sorry, at the top of the summit of the Coquihalla, the connector itself is in better shape. So that's the worst stretch right there. And our forecast for tomorrow, slight chance of snow continuing. Might get some tonight, get some tomorrow. High of 2 for tomorrow. Temperatures mild all through the week, though.
That's
0.
what I get it at. Mild.
Cloudy,
right?
mild, yeah, exactly.
Cloudy and mild. So good. We don't have enough snow to do tobogganing unless you go up to Big White. You could probably do some tobogganing up there. Are you heading up there with the kids this weekend? Or?
Not this weekend, but we're definitely getting ready. I think our first experience up there will be December 27th. We'll see. Maybe we'll sneak up there sooner, but
A little Christmas fun up there.
Yeah.
Got all your Christmas shopping done?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there might be a couple of little items yet to procure, mostly for the stocking, but
I would say that one thing that I would offer to people is when you're doing your shopping, try to support local if you're actually buying something. Support this local economy, support the local businesses, the people in that economy.
Yeah.
And the second thing is don't be scared to share something that you're no longer using and regift and rethrift or whatever, as opposed to feeling that pressure to buy something new, right? Because there's lots of stuff that we have that we don't use, and there's nothing wrong with regifting as well.
Or even some baking, things like that.
Baking, or even writing a card.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's lots of things you can do that show that you care without having to go and spend a lot of money on it, especially when you don't have any. Trying to get through the holiday seasons without racking up debt, because this is a time of year that a lot of people really fill their credit cards and then have a tough time managing that debt and end up paying like exorbitant rates. 25, 28% interest. Yeah. And then that gift costs a lot more. And one of the I think some people see it as a good thing, some people see it as a bad thing. But like there's merchants out there now, like you make payment plans. Like I think even Lululemon does it. Like you can make payments on clothes that you buy. That seems odd, no?
It's
right?
Sign of the times, I guess.
Do you know what I mean? Instead of saying, hey, we make our clothes cheaper, like, hey, you can pay it over time.
Well, it is the season of giving, and whether it's something used or something that you've made or something new, Coroner now has partnered with some of our advertising partners, and today we are celebrating the 13 days of Christmas with Vision Mechanical, and up on offer at coronernow.com is an iWave R, which is basically an inline air purifier for your home, which is about $1,000, $1,100 value installed. You don't have to do anything with it once it's in. It's maintenance free. It doesn't cost anything to operate. It's very, very efficient and basically cleans your air for you. So given the forest fires and some of those types of air quality issues that we face in the Okanagan, this is actually a really incredible gift and opportunity to get your hands on one absolutely free from Vision Mechanical and coronernow.com. It's on the 13 days of Christmas on our website right now.
And there's 3 other ones that are open still, I think.
That's right.
That you can put your name in for. And I just thought of a great idea for like a place like Save On Foods that tracks all your information with that Save On Foods card that has all your purchase information. Why don't they do like Costco does and just give a Christmas rebate to people? Just, based on your buying history and say, here's 1% back. Because, after the billions of dollars in profits, maybe just give a little bit back.
Dear Jimmy.
Okay. Get some Christmas spirit.
That's our report for this morning. Have a great day. We'll be back at least at 4 o'clock with your daily headlines. Might have something else for you between now and then. And enjoy the mild weather.